Hi everybody, today we have a 2006 Toyota Tacoma. It's a PreRunner, it's a 4.0 liter automatic transmission. The customer's concerned, she got her oil changed last month. They told her, ma'am, you need lower ball joints and you have an oil leak and we'll help you with it. And she said, thank you very much, and gave me a call. She'd been referred to me some years ago and saved my card, so it was a perfect time to use me. So the first thing I did is I test drove the vehicle because you want to see how it drives on the road, if it makes any clunky noises, if the wheel wobbles around when you drive at higher speeds. So I test drove it, it drove good. I noticed it didn't start till the second time every time, so I imagine there's some carbon buildup in the motor. It's got 130,000 miles on it. So I pulled the top cover off the engine and I'll show you what I found out. This is a little cover. It takes a 10 millimeter socket here in here, and it's got a swivel in the back, and that comes off. Then that exposes the top of the motor. So you want to look at the valve covers and everything in the front, and I'm looking at the driver's side. You know, everything looks dry, everything looks good on the top. Everything looks good in the front of the motor, and I got to the passenger side, and I can see right away it's a different color, it's damp. Because when you get an oil residue like that, it's going to turn like a darker color. So the top corner of this valve cover right here, this gasket is starting to seep a little bit, as you can see by what's on my finger. So it's not running out everywhere, but it's made a damp spot all the way down the side. And we'll raise it up and I'll show you what's going on with that. And I'll show you how to check the lower ball joints, what I found out. So with this little amount of oil that we have here, I've noticed I spent most of my life caring for people by caring for their cars. I can clean this area up. It'll stay dry like that for a year or so, and then we'll clean it up again. And as far as the oil leaking, you know, underneath, you can see where there's, see how it's kind of discolored here? And it's just damp, but there's nothing dripping out. Here's where they drain plug, where they change the oil. And of course, what we can see on the driver's side is totally dry. So all we're going to do is we're going to take some brake cleaner and we're going to clean this whole area, and we're going to clean along the side there and clean all that up. Now, here's a lower ball joint. You have one on the lower side, then you also have an upper one, and then you have your shock with the coil spring on it. So I'll show you how we test this. Inside of it, there's a ball in a socket. Right inside of here, there's a ball up there, then it goes in a tapered flange through here, and it shouldn't have any movement up and down. So we'll take this big bar above the steering knuckle here, and we're going to pull down, and we're going to check for play there. There's no play at all. And I even went so far as to put a screw jack here so this didn't move. And so I wasn't fooling myself, and there was no play whatsoever. But if this was bad, there'd be play up and down inside that joint. I checked all four of them. There's no play whatsoever in all four of them. So that's one of those little things. You want to be careful. I'm so glad she came in for a second opinion, because it doesn't need lower ball joints, doesn't need upper ball joints, doesn't need any rubber suspension whatsoever. It needs to have the oil cleaned up on that side a little bit, and then we'll just monitor it. So it's not a big deal. So I'm going to check it for a little other service, why it has that starting issue since it's here, and look at the drive belt and hoses and the other fluids. Thank you very much. Have a great day.